Are you looking for a secure, automated, and standardized approach to cloud adoption? In this video, we dive deep into AWS Cloud's Yellow Brick Road, YBR, a best practice framework that helps enterprises, government agencies, and startups govern, secure, and optimize their AWS workloads. AWS Cloud's Yellow Brick Road, YBR, a comprehensive guide. AWS Cloud's Yellow Brick Road, YBR, is a structured framework that helps organizations, particularly enterprises and government agencies, adopt, govern, and secure their cloud infrastructure on AWS. It provides a standardized, automated, and secure way to build and manage AWS workloads while ensuring compliance with industry best practices. This framework is particularly useful for large organizations with strict compliance and security requirements, helping them accelerate cloud adoption without compromising security, operational efficiency, or cost-effectiveness. Understanding the AWS Yellow Brick Road, YBR. 1. What is YBR? YBR is not an AWS service but rather a best practice framework developed to standardize cloud deployments, automate security and compliance enforcement, ensure operational excellence across teams. It follows AWS well-architected framework principles and is heavily aligned with DevSecOps practices. 2. Key pillars of the AWS Yellow Brick Road. AWS YBR is built on several core pillars. A. Standardization. Organizations face challenges with cloud sprawl, inconsistencies, and misconfigurations. YBR addresses these challenges by establishing a set of pre-approved configurations for cloud infrastructure, using infrastructure as code (IAC) to define repeatable and auditable deployments, defining best practices for services such as VPC networking, IAM policies, encryption, and logging. Example, instead of allowing developers to provision resources ad hoc, YBR enforces the use of AWS Service Catalog or Terraform modules with approved templates. Security and compliance. Security is one of the biggest concerns in cloud environments, and YBR ensures robust security by implementing AWS Security Hub, Guard Duty, and AWS Config for continuous compliance monitoring, enforcing least privilege access using IAM roles and policies, automating security controls with AWS Control Tower and Service Control Policies (SCPs), enabling encryption by default for data at rest and in transit, logging and monitoring all activities via AWS CloudTrail and AWS CloudWatch. Example, a finance company using YBR can ensure that all S3 buckets are encrypted and public access is blocked by default. Automation and CI/CD. AWS YBR promotes automation in infrastructure deployment, security checks, and compliance enforcement using infrastructure as code (IAC) with Terraform or AWS CloudFormation. CI/CD pipelines using AWS Code Pipeline, GitHub Actions, or Jenkins. Security and compliance automation via AWS Lambda and AWS Config rules. Patch management automation using AWS Systems Manager. Example, a government agency can use YBR to automate the scanning of EC2 instances for vulnerabilities before deployment. Operational excellence. YBR helps organizations improve their day-to-day cloud operations by implementing centralized logging and monitoring, using AWS X-Ray, CloudWatch, and AWS Observability services to track performance, defining incident response playbooks with AWS Systems Manager. Example, an enterprise using AWS YBR can ensure real-time detection of security incidents and automatic remediation. Cost optimization. Managing cloud costs is a challenge, and YBR enforces cost governance best practices such as enforcing resource tagging policies for better tracking, using AWS cost anomaly detection to identify unexpected cost spikes, right-sizing workloads with AWS Compute Optimizer, enforcing automated shutdown of non-production resources after hours. Example, a company can use AWS YBR to prevent unnecessary spending by automatically terminating unused EC2 instances. How organizations implement AWS YBR. Step-by-step approach. Define policies and standards, establish security, networking, and compliance baselines. Automate infrastructure deployment. Use Terraform, AWS CloudFormation, or CDK. implement security controls, enforce IAM policies, SCPs, and AWS Config rules. Deploy logging and monitoring, set up AWS CloudTrail, AWS Config, and Security Hub. Optimize costs, use AWS budgets, Cost Explorer, and automation. Continuously improve, regular audits, reviews, and security updates. Who should use AWS Yellow Brick Road? Enterprises needing standardized security and compliance. Government agencies following strict regulations like FedRAMP or GDPR. Financial institutions requiring highly secure cloud environments. Healthcare organizations complying with HIPAA standards. Startups scaling fast and needing automation from the start. AWS services commonly used in YBR. Category: Security and Compliance. AWS Security Hub, GuardDuty, AWS Config IAM, AWS Control Tower. Networking and Access, AWS VPC, AWS Transit Gateway, AWS Network Firewall. Automation and CI/CD, AWS Code Pipeline, CloudFormation, Terraform. Monitoring and Logging, AWS CloudWatch, CloudTrail, AWS X-Ray. Cost Management, AWS Budgets, AWS Compute Optimizer, AWS Cost Explorer. Why AWS Yellow Brick Road matters. Speeds up cloud adoption. Organizations don't need to reinvent security and compliance. Reduces risk, enforces secure, repeatable cloud deployments. Improves operational efficiency. Automation minimizes manual effort. Ensures regulatory compliance, meets standards like FedRAMP, HIPAA, and PCI DSS. Optimizes costs, prevents wasteful spending through cost governance. Final thoughts. AWS Cloud's Yellow Brick Road, YBR, is not a product but a methodology that enables organizations to securely and efficiently operate in AWS. By following its principles, companies can automate governance, enforce security best practices, and optimize cloud operations. Would you like insights on how to implement YBR in your specific use case? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Let us know how you're implementing AWS security and governance in your cloud journey.